We will review the Versa IoT device security in this presentation. I will start with an overview of the various features and capabilities with respect to IoT device security in the Versa SASE platform. The Versa SASE platform offers the IoT device security in 4 easy steps, which is to identify, control, secure, and monitor the IoT devices. The first step to this whole process is discovering and classifying the devices. As part of the classification, Versa offers agentless classification, which means there is no need to install any software on the IoT devices. Versa has the ability to classify millions of devices and associate various types of metadata for the IoT devices, such as device tags and reputation. The device classification and metadata will be used in the providing monitoring, analytics, access control, and threat prevention. As part of the access control, we can enforce network segmentation for the IoT devices. We can enforce various types of fine-grained access control policies based on not only the device match, but also match based on any of the device metadata. Versa also has the ability to secure the IoT devices by detecting and blocking any known vulnerabilities and exploits. Versa security team continuously researches the IoT devices to determine the type of vulnerabilities, attacks, or exploits affecting the IoT devices. The threat information is distributed to the Versa cloud gateways via the Versa security package. As the IoT devices are sending and receiving traffic, we can detect any threats potentially affecting these devices and block them. Based on the vulnerability information, we can block the attacks in real time and also provide mechanisms to quarantine the devices until they know they're patched for the vulnerabilities that are affecting them. Last but not the least, we have the monitoring and analytics. Once the IoT devices are discovered and classified, we can monitor these devices in real time and also review the historical analysis of the various types of traffic that is being sent by these devices. To get a little bit technical into the device classification, all the device classification technology is built into the Versa operating system, which is called VOS. As the traffic is traversing from these IoT devices through the VOS appliances, the VOS performs an inline analysis. VOS inspects the sessions that are being sent by the IoT devices by extracting specific attributes from Layer 2 to Layer 7 of the protocol stack of the network packets sent by the devices. Based on those attributes, VOS computes what is called as a device fingerprint. This device fingerprint is actually then looked up in a local device fingerprint database and optionally in the Versa cloud service for a matching device. Typically, the devices are classified within the first few packets or sessions that are sent by the IoT devices. As part of the classification, we automatically associate various kinds of metadata with these devices, including device tags, device reputation, and various kinds of vulnerabilities, threats, and exploits. Based on the device metadata, we can provide full visibility and access control and protect these devices from the various threats known for the devices. With that introduction, let's jump into a quick demo of the Versa device classification engine. Now, first, we're going to go through the monitor screen, which provides a real-time monitoring view of the traffic. Once we go to the monitor screen, click on the services, and then on the device ID icon, we are able to see all of the devices that are discovered on the network, including all of the details, such as MAC address, IP address, and device metadata, such as the vendor, model, the operating system, various tags, and so on. Next, let's review the configuration. So the first step to the configuration is to enable device identification. On a per-tenant basis, we can turn on or off the device identification. Once we are on the configuration screen, select a tenant and edit the device identification configuration to disable the device identification, set the maximum number of devices to be identified and cached within the Versa appliance. If the device fingerprint needs to be looked up in the Versa cloud, an IoT cloud profile needs to be configured. The device identification can be configured to exclude the DNS and MDNS packets sent by the devices. The discovery interval is about every 60 seconds by default, but we can configure it as applicable based on the deployment. The logging profile can be configured based on the log collector to which all of the device logs are sent. So once we turn on the device identification, then we automatically leverage the device database that's on board. If we click on the Objects and Connectors menu and click on the Objects, Predefined Objects, and Device Identification, we actually have a whole bunch of devices that are preloaded out of the box from the default security package. We can also update the security package dynamically and add support for more device classifications and update metadata based on the information that is researched by the Versa security team. The next screen we're going to go into is under the Objects, Custom Objects. Within the device identification under Custom Objects, we show all of the discovered devices. We also offer customers to define their own devices by clicking on the Add. Customer users can add their own custom devices by providing a name, IP address, MAC address, or both, and associate the device with various kinds of metadata. Users can also create custom device filters, and groups associate device tags with these devices and use them in enforcing policies. The policies can be applied in the security policies by navigating to Services, Next-Gen Firewall, and Security Policies. On a per-policy rule basis, in addition to specifying the source, the destination match, the header schedule, and the Layer 7 match, we can also specify the device identification match. We can apply device match based on individual devices that are either discovered or user-defined devices. We can add a new device or select a discovered device from a predefined list or a user-defined device. We can also add a match based on device filters. These can be selected from the custom filters that the user has defined or from the predefined filters that we support out of the box. Device match can also be specified based on device groups, which the user creates as custom groups of devices. Here, we can go ahead and select one of all iOS devices, all iPhones, or all iPads. After the match criteria are specified, we can enforce policy actions, such as allow, deny, reject, or apply security profiles. With Apply Security Profiles, we can select various security profiles like IP, URL, DNS, and file filtering. We can also enable threat prevention with antivirus to prevent malware and ransomware. We can also enable IDS/IPS profile and select IoT security profile to protect the devices from IoT attacks. This is the Analytics screen for the Versa SASE solution. So on the top Analytics tab, we can go to the Dashboard view, and within the Dashboard view, go to the Security, then Identity. In the Identity screen, we show the various dashboards based on device family, device vendor, subfamily, and so on. So here we can start at a high-level dashboard view, and we can drill down into any specific categories of devices of interest. For example, when we click on this, and if we scroll down, here we see the specific device lock, which is, the device vendor is Nest Labs subfamily's camera, and the various kind of device traffic attributes, as well as the detailed logs that we saw from these cameras. So notice here that we log the timestamp and the VOS appliance that generated this log. Here we have two fields related to the device, which are the device key and the device name, along with all of the other attributes of the activities from those devices. Similarly, when we go to the log view here and we go to the firewall, here we're actually seeing the log from all the devices. Here as well, we have, two fields that identify the device that sent out these logs. The device key represents the unique identifier for the device. Whether the device identification is based on an IP address or MAC address will show that field appropriately, as well as the device name itself and all of the traffic attributes that the device has sent. In summary, this is a brief overview and demo of the Versa IoT device security capabilities. Thanks for tuning in.